Welcome back, Math 20-3. Today's lesson basically involves one geometric scale, like what we learned in bisector, like perpendicular bisector or angular bisector, something like that. Except our goal is copying one angle to another. The material that we need is basically compass, it's a must tool, ruler, and protractor. Although there are some workbook example, I am going to do on-spot question on this blank pieces of paper. So please prepare one for yourself too. Now, the first example, I'm gonna explain a little bit more detail and write down some of the steps, so have that in your mind. So let's see. Imagine you have a certain angle. I'm gonna call this vertex A, B, C. First thing first, let's identify the angle that created for the vertex ABC using my protractor. Locate at the center, and I can identify that it is about 34 degrees. So how can I basically replicate this angle to another without using protractor? Very first step involve, I like to say, estimation, if you will. Basically, you are try to draw an arc that pass the line AB and BC, but make sure you're making big enough of circle. So right now I created a circle, and that circle pass A and C. Remember this arc radius because we're going to use that. Now your second step is we are not going to change the size of this, but as you may notice, BC is a straight line, so you are going to create the replication of BC. But I'm going to call D and E, something like that. The size of the line doesn't have to be identical. As you may notice, it's a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. First thing that you need to do is drawing the same arc. As you may notice, I haven't changed my circle. It has to be identical size. Now, this is exact identical, first and second. Third one is, can you see that intersection point between B and C? You are going to put your compass at that center, and you're basically controlling your radius to estimate your angle. So this is where the angle is located. So you're remembering the distance between here to there. And once you find that, that's our last step. Basically, remember that distance, create another arc, and as you may notice, I now have a dot, which I'm gonna put it as F, and now we can just connect them together. Now let's double check my angle D. If I relocate myself over here, it is 30, where are you located? Okay, that's the center. 38. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. 35. I got 35. FDE was 35 degrees. Now you may notice there's a one angle difference, and to be fair, yes, it should be 34 degrees. And probably the reason that I did 35 degrees is because of this estimation error. So this step need to be very careful, which is step number 3, step number 4, then this can be step number 5. So let's write down the step. Number 1, what did we do as a very first step? We basically place the compass at on vertex B and draw on arc. Number 2, we basically repeated the same thing on point D. Create an identical size arc at vertex D. That was my second step. Third step, we measure the distance. Measure the distance between A and C using a compass. At my fourth step, create an arc at the intersection point on line DE, and 5 is basically connect. So if you want to copy the whole thing, this is a good time that you can pause. Once you're done, then let's go with other example. And I'm gonna make it into big scale on purpose. Imagine, let's do a simple one, but I'm gonna change my orientation. As you may notice, this is, let's see, D, E, F, something like that. As you may notice, there's a, it's actually too big that equal outside of the scale. This is 90 degree. Of course, you can double check using your protractor, but it's complete horizontal and complete vertical. And basically, that's what you see in here. Your first step is, if you guys remember, take out your compass, adjust the length accordingly, and create big enough an arc. As you may notice, it passed my half point of D and half point of F. Now, next step, before we getting into, we should create one of the line segment, which I'm gonna create it over here. And I'm gonna name this as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, something like that. I haven't changed my compass distance. You are creating another arc, same size arc, like this. Remember this intersection point for my next step. Now, step 1 and 2, finish. Step number 3. Now this is a tough one. From one of the end, you need to estimate the distance using your compass. Of course, I need to extend my line so that, there you go, that's about a good estimation. Remember that distance, which is your radius of an arc, and apply that distance on my replicating angles intersection point. Then now, these two intersection points should create another vertex, which I'm gonna call it I, and you are going to connect this G and I. And let's use our protractor to find out the angle. I know it's reversed, but as you may see, it is 100 or 0 all the way to 90. So we replicated our angle 90. that is basically our lesson for today. I want you to do the question on page 193 and 194 of your work booklet, and that is today's lesson.